hard to believe after our last contest, but I am showing my face again after a 73-point disaster on defense last week against BYU. But this is the key, folks. Got to be resilient. Got to keep moving. We're building. We know where we are. We're going to make some fixes on defense, and we're going to get it right. But we are back, episode 10 of season 1 of the Sonoma State Dynasty here in Rabbit Hole Sports. And this is a great moment to reflect and say, hey, one day we'll look back and say, remember when we gave up 73 points to BYU. But let's bounce back this week against Boise State. But first and foremost, let's go over some Week 10 scores. I forgot to highlight key matchups in the last episode, so I apologize for that. But Tulane picks up a win over Arizona in Tucson, 42-31 in a Big 12 showdown. Tulane setting themselves up for a Big 12 championship game appearance, it seems like. While A&M beats Bama in College Station. So after, a 5 or 6-0 start for Alabama, their third consecutive loss. And then Toledo beats Rutgers in New Jersey in an American Conference game. So could Toledo potentially work their way back into things for an American Conference championship game appearance? We're seeing some Group of 4, I should say, teams that are playing up make some real noise in these power conferences. So that's fun to see. But back to it, it is the Irish beating the Hoosiers in what was a real-life college football playoff game. And the same result here. So Notre Dame, they've rebounded nicely from a 1-3 start with 4 straight wins. But moving on, Georgia absolutely demolishes Florida, 48-0 in Jacksonville. That would not be a fun game to be at if you were a Gator fan. Clemson picks up a ranked home win over former conference rival Louisville. Maybe not quite the same intensity as that matchup between Deshaun Watson and Lamar Jackson, but looks like a good one. 24-16 going to the Tigers. And then it's Penn State upsetting Kansas State in Beaver Stadium at Penn State at home. Was it a whiteout? Maybe. New whiteout game. Opponents in the Big Ten available for Penn State. They pick up a 29-28 win over the Wildcats. As we move on to the SEC, where it was Miami picking up a ranked conference victory over the Tennessee Volunteers, 38-35. While Mizzou cannot quite keep it rolling as they fall 24-21 to Texas. But looking in our conference real quick, Pitt upsets SMU in Dallas, so maybe puts an extra hurdle in the way of the Mustangs if they cannot win the conference. An extra hurdle for them to get in to the college football playoff, taking another loss there. But Stanford keeps rolling in conference, 52-14 over Sam Houston in Palo Alto, while Cal, believe it or not, stays alive for a Pac-12 title game berth with a 37-18 win at Martin Stadium in Pullman, Washington over the Cougars. In Week 11, we will see an SEC matchup of Clemson as the 14th ranked Tigers host Tennessee. Staying in the SEC, it's the 2nd ranked Georgia Bulldogs visiting 17th ranked LSU, while number 5 Texas A&M goes on the road to number 6 Ole Miss in a game with potentially huge implications in who comes out of their division in the SEC. And then it's the 19th ranked Sooners of Oklahoma visiting the 3rd set of Tigers in the SEC, Mizzou, who is ranked number 22 in the nation in this week. In our conference, Texas State goes to Berkeley in a game where the winner kind of cements themselves as the 2nd favorite in that division. Same with Stanford. Well, not same, because Stanford actually holds the edge to win that division because they have a head-to-head win over Texas State. But big implications in that division with these two matchups, with Texas State going to Berkeley and then Stanford going to Colorado State in Fort Collins. Quick look at the standings in our conference. As of now, we're looking forward to a showdown in Week 13 between SMU and UCSB, where it's a potential winner-take-all for our division in Season 1. So we'll see if that ends up being the stakes in that game, and then we will see who ends up winning that game. But looking at the top 25, it is the SEC and the Big Ten taking the top 12 spots, while Louisville is the highest-ranked Power 4 team at 13. They're joined by 6 other Power 4 teams: Syracuse, Arizona, Rutgers, Toledo, who technically is a Group of 4 team, but again playing up Tulane, and Texas State, who's in the same boat as Toledo. But no traditional and true Group of 4 teams in the top 25, at least teams playing in a Group of 4 conference this season. But a peek at the Heisman race, it is Marcel Reed who currently leads, but after an insane 655-yard, 7-touchdown outing, 431 in the air, 224 on the ground, Teron Barnes moves into the top 5. We'll see if maybe he finishes as a finalist. That'd be really cool to see. Doubt we have the team results for him to win, but if he stayed in it, that'd be awesome. Looking at some recruiting, 4-yard receiver Kenyon Cleat from Calabasas. He's going to Arizona State. We were locked out by 2-star corner Ciante Torre from Millbrae, California. We get a commitment from another 4-star, this time center Miguel Weeks from Las Vegas, Nevada. So our first out-of-state commit, our third 4-star commit, and our second interior offensive line commit. And you'll learn this, I love interior offensive line play, so I'm glad we're building that up with some 4-star guys there. Miguel Weeks, Suachu. Here we go. We also add 3-star receiver Milu Westerman, not to the class, but to the board. And we also add 3-star cornerback Lorenzo Agnew from Santa Ana to the board as well, replacing Kenyon Cleat and Ciante Torre, respectively. Now, we had a bye week, so I'm simmed ahead a week. And in the next week, we lost 4-star safety Cliff Floyd from Sebring, Florida. He's going to Ohio State. We get a commitment from a 3-star gem and tight end Bradley Ankrum from Concord, our first local Northern California commit. Bay Area? I don't know. Local to the area commit, we'll say. We won't get into a technical discussion of California geography. We also add 3-star safety Legend Darkwood to our board. He's from Hattiesburg, Mississippi. What an awesome name. He replaces Cliff Floyd on the board. He would be an awesome addition just from a name and morale standpoint more than anything else. Get a guy like that on the team. That'd be awesome. Week 11 results. Because again, we simmed ahead a week. I should have opened with the fact that we had a bye week, but I forgot to say that. I apologize. But Tennessee beats Clemson on the road in a battle of orange, now SEC teams, 24-22 in favor of the Volunteers. While Georgia picks up a second straight dominant conference win. Last time on a neutral site, this time on the road, beating the LSU Tigers 40-14. It's Ole Miss getting the big win at Kyle Field over the A&M Aggies 35-20. While Oklahoma dominates Missouri 54-21. It seems like Oklahoma either really disappoints or absolutely kills somebody. So who knows what's going on with it, but a nice win there against Mizzou. In our conference, it's Texas State beating Cal on their home field 28-14, putting themselves really firmly as the second favorite in that conference, or in the division. And then it's Stanford maintaining their edge as the favorite with a win over Colorado State. So again, Texas State and Stanford as favorites for the championship game. Stanford has the head-to-head win. And then I forgot to point it out, but in Week 10 in the Big 12, we had our 2 Sunbelt teams playing up, have their head-to-head match, Louisiana Lafayette and Louisiana Tech, and it was the Raging Cajuns beating the Louisiana Tech Bulldogs. Alma mater of Terry Bradshaw, Louisiana Tech, little fun fact, in a Big 12 promotion relegation game. But Louisiana Lafayette gets the win there. And then the big games this week, before we get into our highlights, we got the Fighting Irish visiting the Buckeyes in Columbus in what is just an absolutely classic matchup. And I don't know, did we see that one recently? Yes, we did. It was a national championship. So hopefully that one is good in this dynasty as well. We got the number 8 ranked Tennessee Volunteers visiting the second-ranked Georgia Bulldogs in an SEC showdown. Number 3 Oregon visits number 11 Kansas State in a Big Ten matchup. and number 10, Texas A&M, goes on the road to Oklahoma. Oklahoma off that big win. A&M off a home loss to Ole Miss. So we'll see how those games shake out. But let's get in to what we want to see, and that is Seawolf football and an improved effort on the defensive side of things. Keeping the cap on and just playing free, man. Let's go play some ball. Here we go. Nomination. And of course, when we talk about Boise State, got to slow down Ashton Ginty as he gets right to work, and this defense gets a chance to get right to work after last week and on a 3rd and 10. We are going to force a throwaway, so a big round of applause, big hand to the defense for a stop to open up the game, and our offense will get a chance to give us the lead early on here on their first possession. But on a 3rd and 11, pressure is going to get home, and it is going to be a throwaway from Teron Barnes. Defensively, Ahmad Hassanein, not exactly sure how to pronounce his last name, I apologize, but an NFL level talent as Matthew York gets roughed on the punt, almost got tackled again like he did last week. Unreal. Can't believe that is actually something we have to worry about. But sets us up with an opportunity just outside the red zone. Going to send Scooter Page in motion and get it out to that side where we have numbers. And Scooter Page has room to work. If Javon Moore could have picked up a block, we would have maybe gone for a touchdown. But we get a nice gain on the screen, but it is pressure there. And I did not notice this beforehand. I'm assuming this happened when I simmed the 4th quarter versus BYU. But Demetrius Williamson, the senior, picks up an injury. He's out for 4 weeks. So if we don't make a bowl game, that is unfortunately the end of his playing career for us. So sad piece of news there, but an opportunity for some guys to step up as we get on the board first with an Ian Wells field goal. So 3-0, but it is Ginty getting the edge around Alexander Valentine. Quincy Blue, BVC pipe, Bubba Van Claiborne runs them down. And Boise State with their first big play of the game in this opening quarter, and no slowing down for number 2, Ginty. Just so good, powerful, elusive, just such a tough player to stop. And then, of course, that leaves you really one-on-one on the perimeter, which has been our downfall all year. So a real test for our defense today, and it is a fly sweep to Prince Strachan. No, that is not him. Dunbar? I don't know. Number 1, my brother knows exactly who it is, but Boise State takes their first lead of the game, and we are back on offense, and it is Spencer Strickland down the field on the throw, and take it off just in time on the draw is Teron Barnes. A nice run up the middle, and it is Sonoma State marching. The Seawolves looking for an answer and off play action. In the middle of the field, C.J. Peaks, number 18, the freshman, with a catch there. The first guy the guy that'll get the most opportunity because of the Demetrius Williamson injury, as he is first up on the depth chart in terms of replacement. Missed throw there, and we are going to settle for another Ian Wells field goal attempt. It is up and good, 7-6 early, so keeping it in striking distance, but the pressure stays on the defense to get a stop, and it is Ginty in the passing game with a catch there. 2nd and inches, going to put him in motion. This time get 4 guys over on that left-hand side, and that creates a numbers problem, a nightmare we have seen one too many times. At least give Quincy Blue credit for playing through the end zone. That time it's Strahan, however you pronounce it. Touchdown, Broncos. Still a 1-score game, but not for long, as the man we had to stop on their defense is in the backfield, just absolutely wrecking a play in the worst way possible. And we would give the ball right back, and there you see a little bit of how hard it is to bring down Ashton Ginty, fighting off defenders, but right there, it is Kobe Garland, the freshman, getting in the backfield, fighting off the block, and suffocating that run before it can even start. We could use a little more of that. And right here on this play, he breaks to throw right as that in route starts. So I was like, oh, he's got to be taking the in. I'm on top of the post, but he was throwing the post. I was like, there's no way he's throwing that. We got 2 guys going after it. So, yeah, I don't know. Maddox Madsen, nice. Touchdown, Boise State, and they are up big early. 28-6, and in a game where we need a win to hold on to possibility of bowl eligibility. Not off to a great start, but TB5 looking to take over, as the pressure will certainly be on him and this passing game the rest of the way. And with their best defender coming off the edge, that could be a recipe for disaster. So we're going to need to get the ball out quick a lot, move around in the pocket, and making some catches in traffic is going to be another key piece. Just throwing them back just enough. And if I wasn't able to switch on and Javon Moore didn't get into a catch animation there, we would have been done in pretty good. But we're going to go right back to Javon Moore on the sideline, on the screen, and we are getting the march we need in what is the first step in a comeback. And we immediately derail it all right there. Teron Barnes with a pick. He's been taking care of the ball well, but I put it in traffic, put it in harm's way. I didn't even see who that was, but a big sack on 2nd and inches, and we get the ball knocked out. Chase Freeman, the senior, he's been the best part of the defense all season long. Big pass breakup, big stop, and the offense will get a chance to get back to work. We've moved the ball okay, but again, settling for field goals when we've moved it into the red zone, and turnovers are the difference in the game for the most part. I mean, obviously the big plays on defense, we know we're going to give up some. It hasn't been a surplus yet. It's not a BYU level game, but we certainly don't want to keep giving those up. But in the middle of the field, down to the 1-yard line, Scooter Page going to set us up with a 1st and goal, and we are going to shift into an unbalanced formation right here. You see the trips on the right and 2 guys in the backfield. No one on that left side, and we're just going to run it off that edge there because they're showing zone. They're showing zone, so we know they're not going to match numbers when we shift over like that, and we're going to have the ability to run it over there. And we need to be able to attack fronts like that. If we cannot consistently get into runs that attack the weaknesses in the defense, we don't really have the individual matchups to just go win where we can say, hey, no matter what, we feel pretty good about this. We really have to be in beneficial schemes. But a great first step in a comeback effort. This is what we failed to do against UCSB. We turned it over down on the goal line, down 3 scores going into the half when we were getting the ball back in the second half. Can we complete the double whammy of scoring, the 2-for-1, and get ourselves really back into this? A downfield opportunity. Scooter Page cannot haul it in. So we're going to go to the tight end, Scott McLawler, out in the flat, trusty triple option, read option, RPO slide, whatever you want to call it. Get it out to Scooter Page, went to that same unbalanced formation we scored on, and this time just alerted to a little bubble screen there. And now Keontae Tyson on the screen looking for some room. He's going to take it inside the 10, just outside the 5, and on a 3rd and 2 at the 5, it is going to be the tight end, Alex Gunderson, for his 2nd touchdown catch of the season. The number 2 tight end had a big catch in our game against San Diego State, caught a touchdown, I want to say against Marshall, and then adds another one to his season total right there. And let's see if our defense can do anything to keep this comeback effort going. 2nd and 1, short yardage. Always concerned about a shot downfield, but they're going to keep it on the ground. And again, first couple guys not able to bring Genty down, but we do get him eventually and prevent the disaster play. But on this one right here, they're going to get the leverage to the outside. Nico Solomon in chase. 4-0, touchdown, Broncos, and Boise State unfazed. And their first opportunity of the second half, they are right back in the end zone. So we've had a couple of stops, but still a couple of big pass plays. 4 touchdowns defensively. Really, really working to sharpen that up. But the offense Going to focus on their opportunity with the ball right now. 3rd and 1. Going to just get it with Spencer Strickland. Want to still look for opportunities where we can run the ball, especially now. No longer a 3-score deficit. Still in the 3rd quarter. Still an opportunity. You know, we don't have to put it into oh crap drive. Try to keep it relatively G-rated here on the channel. But, you know what I mean? There's opportunities where if we score a touchdown every drive and just get one stop, we're right in it. So, got to get a 2-point conversion in there somewhere as well, but the offense doing its job so far, and we're going to get it to Spencer Strickland in the flat on a big 3rd down. And on 2nd and goal, we're going to go to our trusty play action, and it is Scott McLawler, so both tight ends with a touchdown catch today. And Sonoma State staying in it, staying alive, and I'm not one for the analytical move where they go for 2 at this point and make the argument, well, then you know. What? No, you're less stressed when it's a 1-score game. Let's go play some ball. Here we go. Defense, 2nd and 10. Screen game, and we are right there. Terrell Pace Jr. knocking it loose, and an opportunity to get off the field on a 3rd and 10, and we force them underneath. Great work from our defensive unit as we get into the midway point of this 4th quarter and get it out to Spencer Strickland. He's been a little more involved in the passing game here today. Really surprised he hasn't been a bigger part of the passing game, but I think that'll change going forward, and especially moving in to next season. Going to look to involve him in some more ways in the passing game, even if that includes playing a little bit of slot receiver. I feel like Tyson and Strickland gives us a good dynamic in the backfield, and we want to utilize that. And Jackson Gregory certainly adds to that as well, the fullback, as he makes a catch. And we have a 1st and goal from the 7. Going to take the safe throw into CJ Peaks, and disaster, tip, deflection, interception, and there's no one guarding him on the left, so I always would just want to get a quick alert there. But you just need to calm down. Alex Gunderson, the next dude in, gets wide open in the middle. So we would have had a touchdown there. So, frustrating. But an opportunity on defense. 3rd and 10. And we made some plays in the passing game. So they keep it conservative on the ground. We bottle up Ginty, and we have our chance. And Teron Barnes, can he direct the offense? Under pressure. 2-minute drill. This is what you live for. This is what's fun, right? And after a game where we were pretty helpless, we've been resilient today. So here we go. Teron Barnes underneath. Javion Foreman, 6 yards. 3rd down and 4, and we go to the ground. Spencer Strickland, nice cut in the box to pick up the yardage, and we are marching. And that is CJ Peaks. Once again, he has been really nice picking up the slack where Demetrius Williamson, where his absence provides a need. I don't know. I kind of lost my thought there. But Scooter Page, touchdown, Sonoma State. They are a 2-point conversion away from tying it up. They are kind of segued between like being a commentator of the team and just being like I don't know. Should I wear the coach hat or the commentator hat when I do these? If you guys have a preference, let me know. I definitely don't want to be switching back and forth as much. But Scooter Page, big time. But the biggest play of the game is right here on the 2-point conversion. Gonna get our blocking set up right. Gonna bring Javion Foreman in motion. We're gonna go over the middle to Scott McLawler, and he cannot quite get in. Heartbreak. A little hope still with an onside kick available. But man, brutal. And the kick, nothing. They really need to add some things you can do on onside kicks. They're really vanilla here. And you're just relying on stupidity from the CPU to help you out. But anyway, not that that was the problem in this game. Kneel down, victory formation for Boise State. A valiant comeback effort from the Seawolves, but it comes up just short. And it is the Broncos picking up a conference victory, and there will be no bowl game this season in SSU. So a clear goal established off the bat for us. Heading into next season, as you see the total numbers, a lot more total yardage for us. Really that pick and then the big turnover. I mean, our defense allowed 28 of the 35 points. There was the big takeaway on the read, fumble, that turned into a touchdown. As we see the stats there on the game, it was 61 pass attempts from Teron Barnes. Sorry I didn't get to that when it was on the screen. Had to throw a lot quickly with the rush coming in, had to look for opportunities to take off, and it was a fun game, fun comeback effort. Always love seeing that level of fight, but just not quite enough. Maddox Madison, 14 of 20, 243, 3 touchdowns, a couple of explosive passing plays, and Ashton Ginty, solid average yards per carry, but only 11 attempts. We really dominated the number of plays ran in this game, if you couldn't tell from those splits there. But keep Ginty out of the end zone. Huge improvement defensively. Huge improvement overall, effort-wise. Again, overall and roster-wise, real mismatch. But tough. We won't go to a bowl game. But we march on into Las Vegas next week.